Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks for your confirmation. Thank you, Teja. Yeah, very good evening. Okay. Still some students are joining. Anyway, let me complete the yesterday's assignment topic first. So I have given a question. So the question is 1 minute. Let me move. So this is the question actually. Write a Python program to check if a given number is strong number or not using functions. Okay. So I have given functions. Okay. So by using functions, we can write the program. But this is a normal program actually. So by using functions also we can do. Okay. So many of the students submitted. Okay. So just we have to write the logic instead of that logic. We have to give one function name. Anyway, we totally copy this one. And after that I will tell you the with using loop also I will tell you guys. First I will explain the function concept. So let me explain this. Okay, so more than 100 joined till now. Anyway, we'll start the class. And coming to the first here, the program execution starts from this line onwards. This is the function name strong. Strong is a function name. Int of input of enter number. That means if you want to enter any number, so basically first you should know what is the strong number. So I already given in the question itself. If anybody don't know, so I'm giving directly. If I'm telling the number is 145 is a strong number. So you have to do 1 factorial plus 4 factorial plus 5 factorial. Okay. So that means, for example, here you are declaring like this: 1 factorial plus 5, 4 factorial plus 5 factorial equal to 1 factorial is 1, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial is 120. If you add the three numbers here, that is what are the digits. So 1 factorial, 4 factorial plus 5 factorial, you will get the value 145 again. That number is called as a strong number. First of all, let me check with the using function. After that, I will explain with using loops also. Okay. Okay. Next. So 145. I'm taking only number only. I'm taking 145 only. So now, so strong of int input enter number. That means now strong of 145 will be called here. Okay. This is calling function actually. So now this value will be allotted to small n. Okay. So whenever we have initialization, we have to note down first sum equal to 0. We just keep it aside, and temp equal to n. Now temp equal to n means temp equal to 145. Why I am taking temp, I will tell you. Don't worry, because here whenever the n becomes 145, 445, whenever n becomes 0, you cannot compare that number with the some value. So that's the reason I have taken a temporary variable. Okay. So while n not equal to 0, while n not equal to 0 is nothing but n is a 145. 145 not equal to 0. Condition is true. Condition is true now. Fact equal to 1. This is the logic of for loop. This is the logic of fact equal to 1. These two logics are for factorial. Some students written directly like factorial function they are used. Okay, try to avoid the predefined functions while writing a program. Okay, we know whenever you're giving whenever you input math, if you're calling math dot factorial, you directly get the value. I do know. Okay, so but try to avoid that functions. Okay, because that is not a good thing. Okay, so some may okay, some may okay, no problem, no problem, Bhavani, but you are giving the correct code only, it will execute it, no problem. Okay, so now here I am giving for fact equal to 1, rev equal to here not rev, we have to give rem actually. 1 minute, let me take rem is a reminder. Okay, so rem equal to n modulus 10, so that means reminder is 145 modulus 10. Why I am taking 145 modulus 10? Because so here we need to calculate 5 factorial, 4 factorial, 1 factorial. That means so we cannot retrieve the middle element, we cannot retrieve the first element at the same time. So for example, if I am giving a simple logic to print the last digit of a number, you no need to use the loops also. Okay, if you want to print the last digit of any number, you just give print num modulus 10, then it will give the automatically last digit value. But if you would like to retrieve the middle digit, or if you would like to retrieve the first digit, so you have to do a lot of operations with respect to while loop, and you have to you have to use divide operation also, that means division operator also. Okay, so I think you know that. Okay, so that's the reason I am telling here. So we are using the remainder operation here. So n modulus 10, so n modulus 10 means 145 modulus 10, that means rem value is 5 now. Any number modulus 10 which will give the last digit value, I have told so many times I think. Okay, so for I in range of 1 comma rem plus 1, that means now so loop iterated from I comma rem plus 1, that means 6, that means 5 plus 1. So why I am giving? Because we need to find out the factorial of a given number. If I want to find out the 5 factorial, I have to take the loop from 1 to 6, because the last value is nothing but minus 1, you know already, right? So for 1 to 5, we need to calculate the factorial. Now fact equal to fact into I, fact value is 1. Now I value started from 1, fact equal to fact into I, nothing but fact value will be 1 in the first iteration. Okay, this is the logic for finding factorial. That means whenever you are giving for I in range of 1 comma 6, this value will be getting that 5 factorial value, we will get 120 in fact variable. Okay, so let me explain here how it will come. Okay, so first fact equal to fact into fact will be 1, I value is 1, and again loop will be incremented, I value will be 2. Okay, then fact equal to fact into I is nothing but 2, and fact is 1 into 2 2, and then I value will be 3. Sorry guys, suddenly my internet was dropped. Okay, internet connection was dropped. Please, am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Okay, thank you. Okay, okay, fine. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. So climate is not so good from last 4 days onwards. Okay, so hope you understand. Next, oh, all the drawings were cleared. So bad. So 1 minute, guys. N value I'm taking 145. Okay, so fact here the first value 120, because 5 factorial is calculated in earlier. Now some value is 120. Okay, so up to now I have explained this part. Now n equal n floor division of 10 means so 145 floor division of 10, that is 14. It will again go to the while loop. 14 not equal to 0, fact equal to 1. Okay, so 14 modulus 10, then it will take rem equal to 4. So that means now we will calculate the 4 factorial. So for in range of 1 comma 5, so 1 comma 5 means 4 plus 1, rem equal to 4 plus 1. So 1 to 5. So 1 to 5 means we will get the I iteration from 1 to 4, you know already. Okay, so that means here the factorial will be calculated, 4 factorial will be calculated, 4 factorial value is 24. Earlier fact value here earlier sum value is 120, now 120 plus fact is 24, 144. Now some new value is 144. Okay, then say n equal to n floor division of 10, so n becomes 1 because 14 floor division of 10 means it will get 1. So now n value becomes 1. 1 not equal to 0, condition true, fact equal to 1, remainder equal to 1 modulus 10, that means it will take 1. So for I in range of 1 comma 2, now rem is 1, so it will take the 2. So now fact equal to fact I means it will iterate to one time only. So 1 comma 2 means it will iterate one time only, 1 into 1, that is 1 factorial. Now it will get factorial is 1, factorial is 1. Sum equal to sum plus fact, some value is 144, 144 plus 1 is 145. Now sum value is 145. Okay, so now I am getting 145. Now n equal to n floor division of 10 means 1 by 10, 1 by 10 is 0. So it will not enter into the while loop because 0 not equal to 0, condition is failed. Sum equal to 10. So originally, so n value becomes 0 after the iteration. So that's the reason we are taking a temporary variable. So now temp contains the 145. 145 is equal to 145. Yes, the given number is strong number. It will be displayed like this. Okay. So this is the way you understand. So by using functions, I have explained. So the same logic actually here. So I'm just moving to the using loops. Okay, this is the without function actually. The same logic. You just understand the concept. I'm just explaining the same. So here I'm taking a number equal to int of enter any number. If I'm taking 145, so other than 145, if you're taking 120, so for example, I would like to take 120. So 120 means 120. For example, I'm taking 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 0 factorial. So 2 factorial value is 2 only. 1 factorial is 1. 0 factorial is 1. So that means you will get 0 factorial 1 and 1 factorial 1. So total 4. So 120 not at all equal to 4. That means 120 is not a strong number. Okay, the same logic I have written. Okay, so you can understand. I'm taking num equal to num, n equal to num like this, and I'm comparing the sum, and I will send the both answers in your chat box. If you want to refer, you can refer, and I will run the program once. First I will run the program now. So first of all, I would like to give 145. Let's give a number is a strong number. You should understand Armstrong is different, strong number is different. Okay, if I am giving 120, no given number is not a strong number. Okay, so it will display like this. Hope you understand, guys. And today I would like to discuss about the new topics, and if you have any more questions, you can ask in the chat box. And one more thing, actually usually after completion of the class, Great Learning team will send the so attendance sheet to my mail ID. So usually it will come around 1 hour actually. So after, that's the reason after I'm sending the material after 1 hour. But usually from last 2 days onwards, so they are sending the mail after 2 hours, I think. Okay, around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm sending the material. Okay, so so I'm not taking that mail because it is taking so much of time. I'm forwarding the feedback link. So earlier we already followed that, so I'm also forwarding this here. Okay, you can fill the form after completion of the class. Okay, so and try to fill within 7 p.m. okay, within 7 p.m. because I need to switch on my laptop, and every time I need to send before 10 p.m. and all. So that's the reason I'm telling you guys. Hope you understand. And today I would like to move to the concept like a lambda function. So Python lambda, anonymous functions actually. So actually for second CSC students, I would like to tell you one thing, guys. There is no syllabus, there is no topic with Python lambda anonymous functions are defined in the there is no such concept in this unit 3 actually. But I'm telling because lambda is one of the keyword in Python, so that's the reason I'm telling. And they mentioned one of the topic with respect to, for example, 1 minute. So we have one concept like higher order functions. Okay, so in unit 4, okay, higher order functions. In unit 3 we have one concept like higher order functions. Okay, so for example in the topic we will have the concept of lambda concept. So okay, that's the reason. So I am telling that concept. I am telling this concept actually. For your same exams, you should prepare for lambda even if they did not mention anything. Last class we discussed about managing a program namespace. Now I will discuss about higher order function. Before going to that higher order function, okay, so I would like to introduce the lambda keyword. Okay, how it will work. I think many of the students know. I think from second CS and third CS and final students are listening here. So and some mechanical students are also sending the assignments. I am very happy, guys. I think Ambadi Raja, thank you Raja. If you are following in this way, nothing, the programming is very easy, guys. Okay, so because many of the students, even triple and EC students, are also sending the assignment. I hope you are understanding the concepts very well. Please try to avoid the don't copy the logics from Google itself. Okay, you should practice. If you are not finding the answer, you just leave it, no problem. That's not a problem at all. I will tell you the explanation in the immediate class. Okay, so can you please confirm once, because sometimes my network is not working properly, so due to rainy season. Okay, so can you please confirm? Shall I start the Python lambda keyword concept, please? Yes, thank you guys, thank you. Okay, if it is okay, if you are not unable to, if you are unable to understand anything, please let me know. Okay, because suddenly my internet was disconnected so many times. Okay, so thank you guys. Let me start with Python lambda keyword. Okay, so this is one of the important technology actually in C language and Java also. We don't have such facility. So about the lambda keyword. So as you know already, I'm telling this Python subject for only, not only for second CS students purpose. Okay, I'm telling because of for the interview purpose also, and many of the students are fit comfortable with Python programming language compared to other programming languages. Usually when you're having examinations like placement tests, so every students are interested to write the programs in Python only. Earlier they used only C language, because compared to Java they will prefer C language always. Okay, so now after listening the Python classes, everybody writing the code in Python only. That's the reason I'm telling all the concepts. So of course it is not in the syllabus, but I am telling once again. So let me open the keywords. This is the keywords you know already. So Python we have 35 keywords, so according to the latest version. So here you can see lambda. Okay, lambda. So this is called a keyword. So R should be in lowercase letters. So I would like to introduce this concept today. Okay, so we covered almost, I think almost 29 keywords already we covered. Okay, so I think you know. Okay, so I already covered each and everything. If you meanwhile whenever I'm completing the Python classes, so all will be completed that day itself. Okay, so don't worry. Next, so Python lambda, that is nothing but anonymous function. So I think you know what is anonymous. Okay, so anonymous means we don't know actually. That is the reason nothing but anonymous. Okay, for example, if anyone sending the messages, okay, I don't know that particular person, he is nothing but anonymous. Okay, I think you know that is the concept. According to the word itself, the name is called as anonymous, means it's a, so we don't know anything. That is nothing but anonymous actually. Okay, so in Python, anonymous function means that a function is defined without a name. That means you can define a function without a name. So that is nothing but an anonymous function. That's it. This is very easy definition. Okay, so usually in interviews also they will ask what is anonymous functions in Python. So anonymous functions can be declared by using Python lambda keyword. Okay, so as we already know that def keyword is used to define the normal functions. You know already. If anyone asks what is the purpose of def keyword, so you should tell the answer. It is used to define the functions. That's all. Okay, it is used to define the functions. Okay, so for example, and the lambda keyword is used to create anonymous function. So then that means, so and somebody is telling nameless function. Okay, so it is not there actually. Okay, so nameless, that means there is no name for the function. That is nothing but anonymous function, but it can be created by using lambda keyword. So if anybody asking about what is the lambda keyword in Python, so lambda keyword is used to create anonymous function. This is the answer, guys. So let me highlight it in the material. Okay, So it has the following syntax. Sometimes it may confuse, guys. Don't worry. Okay. So don't worry. Sometimes you may confuse, but I will give you a clear-cut clarity. Don't worry. Okay. Next. So it has the following syntax: lambda, then space, arguments, colon, expression. This is the syntax. Okay. That means you have to give arguments and colon expression. Okay. So I don't want to explain all the theory material. I will forward the material anyway. So whenever you have free time, you can go through it. No problem. You can definitely understand the concept. I will tell you the example. Then you should easily understand the concept now. Okay. So 1 minute. Here I have given two codes actually. Here I have given. I said that just now. I said that lambda means it is not having any function name. But here I have given function name. Don't worry. Don't confuse. Okay. So I'm comparing anonymous function with the regular function. So that is the question. That is the program here. I'm just giving here. Okay. So let me run this code first of all. So here you can see. Here print g of 7. Actually here g is just a variable. Here it is g is a variable only. Just okay. I'm passing 7 as an argument into the particular variable. That means g of 7. What is this g of 7 means? So that value x will that means this 7 will be allotted to x. Okay. So just now I told the syntax of the lambda is arguments and expression, right? So now what the argument I am using? 7. Okay. So that means 7 will be placed in the x. That means 7 colon 7 into 7 into 7. 7 cube is 343. Okay. This is the only two lines logic. Okay, for lambda. If I am giving cube of 7 or cube of 7 or cube of 5, this is the regular function. That means the function is having name. That is the cube is the name. That 5 will be go into the y value, written y into y into y. That means y means 5. 5 into 5 into 5. That is 125. It will be displayed like this. Okay. Now I am removing the code again. So for your understanding purpose, guys. So I am just changing some values. So I'm giving 7 here again. Okay. So you will get again the values are 343, 343. That means you no need to declare the function names. Okay. You just give this line. Definitely you will get the output. Okay. Definitely you will get the output. So like 1 minute I will open the material. So once see the syntax lambda arguments colon expression. Arguments is nothing but whatever the variable you are giving. That means what the argument you are passing through g. So g is a variable. I am passing the argument of 7 to the particular function. Here there is no function actually, but still it is executing. Okay. If I would like to find out the square, for example, of a square of a given number. For example, let me execute this first. 343. I'm getting 343. Okay. So you can add any comment in the print statement. You can blah blah blah, just double quotation. You can give any comment. That's not a problem at all. Okay. The syntax is lambda x. Not only x. Here you can take any variable. Not only x. You can take n. Then you can give n into n like that. Okay. So that means our 7 will be moved to the particular variable and that particular operation will be performed. For example, let me give a 7 square like this. Okay. Let me run this program. Okay. So I'm getting 49. You can give any expression, not only power. Okay, so you can give anything. That means here it will be work like a function only. So that means you don't need to declare a function. So without defining a function, you can directly call using lambda keyword. This is the purpose of lambda keyword. So this lambda keyword always follows with 2 arguments. That means 2 parameters in the right side. That means the first one is argument, second one is the expression. Okay. Now I will move to the remaining examples. Okay. So I already explained without using lambda, with using lambda what will happen. I have given everything, and now I am moving to the higher order functions concept according to our syllabus. This is the concept we have, higher order functions. Okay. So in higher order functions, I will tell the different examples of lambda because I am telling only one example in this program. Okay. I hope it is very pretty clear. I think so. Okay. Till now I told about lambda keywords. So I think it is clear now. But I will tell some more examples in the higher order functions. That's the reason I'm covering the lambda anonymous functions without telling the higher order function concept. Okay. So now I will move to the higher order function. So as the name implies, this is very beautiful concept actually. But some students may very confused in this concept definitely because So these are the name itself, it is saying higher order. That means it is like a high level position, right? So that means, so we have some functions in Python. Okay. So those high order functions are useful when you want to reduce the code. If you are understanding the familiar concept like for loop and while loop and all, you can go ahead. No problem. But higher order functions plays a major role in the programming in some point of view. I will tell you those conditions right now itself. Okay. And before going to that, I explain about higher order functions. You can see here, lambda functions can be used along with built-in functions like filter, map, and reduce. So we have these three. These three are nothing but higher order functions. Not only these three, we have some more method like sorted also. So, but usually these three are only called as higher order functions. So let me explain these three methods first of all. So these functions, not methods, so functions. So higher order function. What do you mean by higher order function? First, you should understand higher order functions are nothing but it contains other functions as parameters or return functions. You should understand just definition. You just understand the definition. Okay. So here, for example, if I am telling that a higher order function contains other functions as parameters or return functions. That means here you can declare a function parameter by using higher order functions. That is the concept actually. And Python is very flexible programming language, suppose the use of higher order function. That means by using this concept we can write the program in a flexible manner. Okay. So let me explain with an examples, then only you should understand. So you can read the definitions of what are the various properties and all. I don't want to explain now. Okay. Map, filter, and reduce functions. These are the various three types of functions we have in a Python that is called as higher order functions. Let me explain what is a map. So earlier we discussed about the map function in input, that is different. So because depends upon the instances we are using like this way. So earlier we are using a map function in input for reading multiple values at the same time by using space or comma, whatever it may be. We already studied that concept in input, reading input values from keyboard. In that concept I have already explained the concept. So anyway, but that means, for example, if one operator is acts like a different operators in Python, that means it can be depends upon the instance, it will works like that. So map function will be depends upon the program we can use in this way. Okay. So let me explain what is map function. The basic syntax of the map function is function and iterable. So iterable is nothing but you can know already. So iterables are nothing but lists, tuples, sets are nothing but iterables actually. We will call it as like iterables. Okay. So whenever you are thinking numerics means you will be taking the integers and floating point values. Okay. So by using map we can print out the results like here I am giving a simple example, guys. I will just copy the code and I will explain now. Okay. So now I am giving values like I am printing the square of the each number. Okay. So this is the program actually. Here I am giving a function arguments. Okay. Here I am giving for example here I am giving r equal to, the program execution always starts from here only, you know already. R equal to map f comma. What is this? F means f is a function. As you know already, just now I discussed map function allows two parameters. One is the function name, another one is iterables. Okay. So for example, here the iterable I am using list. I am using the list with nine numbers. Okay. That means so here f comma means here this is the function name. Here I am giving the same function name. Okay. So here I am giving the arguments as returning values. For example, here I am passing the values like this without using for loop. Okay. So now first it will take 1 will be going to the x value, 1 into 1, so 1 will be printed, and 2 into 2, that is 2 square, that is 4 will be printed, 3 square, that is 9 will be printed, 4 square. In that way it will calculate up to 9 elements. Okay. So if I am giving print list of r, that means the result will be printed like 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, result will be printed. That means because r contains the values of the results. Okay. Here I am using a map function again, I am telling. So map function takes two parameters. So it can be used because of, for example, if you are using a for loop concept, you no need to use the for loop concept while retrieving all the elements in this order. Okay. So here I am giving list of r. List of r means I am getting the elements with list of r, because sometimes we are giving print of r also. but this is, it will return map object value. Okay, but you should not give that value. List of r only will. That means you cannot, you can no need to use list of r. You can give like a set of r, you can give like a tuple of r, you can give anything, set of r, whatever it may be. That means these are the predefined actually. List is a predefined constructor actually. Okay, first let me run this code. So I am getting the squares of the particular numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64 and 81. Every time the map function is calling a one argument to the function, then it is returning the particular value. So this is the nothing but a higher order functions. Okay, so here I am giving list of r nothing but, that's why I am getting the values in list format, that means in square bracket. For example, if I am removing list function here, we will get the value like so it means it gives the hexadecimal value like the map object, but it is not the good thing actually. So that means we no need to get the map object values. That is not the good thing here. Okay, we for example, if you would like to get like set of r, okay, if I'm giving set of r, set is a constructor, you know already. Okay, so let me delete this. Instead of list, I'm giving set of r is a resultant variable. Now I'm getting the values here, but you know set is unordered elements. In list we are having a list of elements in ordered manner. Okay, 1, 4, 9, 6, 16 like this. But the same elements will be displayed in different order because set is unordered elements. You know, that's the reason I preferred always list for printing the elements. Okay, hope you understand, guys. Now I will tell you different examples. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry. So I will tell you different examples because it is somewhat the name itself, it is a higher order. It is also very uncomfortable some students. Okay, I will tell you definitely. So actually we get it by using two lines with the lambda function. That means by using lambda function, now we can reduce this code also. For example, if any student, if any question write a program to find the square of the 1 to 10 numbers. If you are giving that program, I think earlier I have given an example when I am explaining the while concept. I think many students know about that concept actually, because I have given some example related to that while I am teaching the while operation. I think so. Okay, so 1 minute. Let me. I think you know already, but let me open. If it is there, I will show. September. So while important functions. September for loop and programs. While loop examples. 1 minute. Let me check. Yes, this is the program actually. So in that I have given some example like this. Here I am giving 1 to 10 example for this. If you would like to print the squares of the particular number, you can give I double star 2 like that. I to the power of 2 is nothing but you will get the value, right? So by using while loop, you can access the values. For example, I am giving I square here, and let me copy this code. So here I'm getting 1 to 10 numbers. If I'm giving like an expression like I double star 2, okay, I'm getting a 1 to 10 number squares. I think you know this concept actually, you know, because by using while loop, definitely we can access these values like this. Okay, for example, if I'm asking the same question using function, the code may increase, you know already, right? So the code may increase, but by using map function also we can reduce the code. And if you are using the lambda keyword in it, you can reduce the code in very easily. So let me explain with the lambda keyword now. So I'm giving map of, okay, just now I'm giving like x into x, because earlier I told that x cube. So if I'm giving x lambda x of x into x, I'm just passing the arguments 1 to 9 here. Okay, print list of r. Again I will get the same result. That means 149 like 18 81 like this. Okay, so this is the one of the way. Okay, that means so you can reduce the code within 2 lines. Within 2 lines we will get the answer actually. Okay, so this is the way we can use the map function. So these are nothing but higher order function. Once again I'm telling guys. So 1 minute, let me explain the code clearly. How I am writing the code. So instead of writing these two functions, I'm removing this. Okay, because anonymous function takes the arguments like this. I'm directly taking x here. I'm directly taking the expression here like this. Okay, so I'm just using the lambda. There is no function name here like f. So I'm removing the f name. Instead of that, I'm directly writing the function like lambda x colon x into x. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That means if I am giving all the numbers here, so then automatically it will get the all the powers. Now students will have some doubt. No students have some doubt. Sir, this is the very easy, sir. We need to type all the 9 numbers. What is this use, sir? They will ask like that. Okay, nothing boss, nothing boss. You can use the range function here. That's not a problem at all. Okay, by using range function you can get the numbers from 1 to 10 or 1 to 11. For example, if you would like to get the values from 1 to 9, you can give range of 1, 10. So range function not only used in for loop, you can use it in anywhere in the program. Okay, I'm telling the example for that example. I'm telling, okay, you can use range function for getting the same output. So that is also very good thing, guys. Okay, if I would like to perform the cubes of the particular 1 to 9 numbers, what I have to change, what line I have to change. So can you please tell me? I'm just asking the lambda expression I'm asking. So can you please tell me in the chat box, guys? I would like to perform x cube. Okay, not x square. You can do in 2 ways actually. Very good, Mehasuda. So Ambika, very good, excellent Ambika. 76 Ambika, very good Ambika. You can give in the x into 2, x into 3. So that means yes, very good. So many students are giving examples. You can use POW also. Yes, obviously you can use a lot of examples, guys. Okay, so if I'm giving x double star 3, okay, x double star 3. So now I'm running the same program, guys. Okay, now I'm getting 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube like this. Okay, so 7 cube, 9 cube and all. So this is a very easy program, because compared to loops and functions, lambda and map functions give you an excellent feature in the Python to reduce the code. So this is the one of the excellent facility we have in Python. Okay, no language have this facility, guys. No language will have this facility. So in any programming languages, we always prefer the loops concept and functions concept to reduce the program length, to reduce the complexity of the program. But in Python, we are having a higher order functions. By using the higher order functions, we can reduce the code in this way. But of course, some students may think that syntax is very difficult. It's not a difficult. You just read the lines. I'm just using map function. I'm having 2 parameters. One is the function name or function that means particular functionality, and next one is the iterables. Iterables means the list which are having. If I'm giving set also, we can give set. We can give also tuple also, you can give. Not only list we have. Okay, so you can give any number of ways. Okay, so let me write in another way. Okay, so this is actually this is called as a list comprehension actually. So here in addition to that, the Python has list comprehension. Usually Bhavani is always writing the code using list comprehension. Now I would like to tell the concept as list comprehension. Okay, so without using that means without using map function also, we can do in this way. So I will tell you so many examples today. Don't worry, guys. Okay, so this is not part of the map. I'm just running the code. Here I would like to print. Range of 1, 10. I am giving range of 1, 10. I am giving. That means it will take 1 to 9 values. According to this line, I am giving this value. Okay. For x in range, actually this is meaning is this so this always extrudes from right to left, because for x in range, this line is inside the body of for loop like this. Okay, so it will take, so I'm taking square bracket. This is nothing but a list. So this is called list comprehension. Okay, so for x in range of 1, 10 means it will take x to the power of x. That means it will get 1. So after that, for loop it iterates automatically and it will take the next digit like 2 to the power of 2. That means up to 1 to 9 it will take like this, because 1, 10 I am giving. So range function always allows the last digit minus 1. So now I am running the code again. I am getting the values 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81. That means for getting the squares of a given numbers or cubes of any number, we will write a code using single line also by using list comprehension. Okay, if you are using a map function, you can print the line in 2 ways. For example, here R is also not required. If you are using complete line, this complete line you can display like list bracket. That means it can also be done within single line. But that is not the point I am telling, because you have to understand clearly. That's the reason I am giving variable name also. Okay, so this is also one of the shortcut, guys. So everything is I prepared in the material, don't worry. Okay, so just now I told you guys, so here I don't need to give 1 to 9 values. Okay, you can directly pass range of 1, 10 here, then it will get 1 to 10 values cubes, 1 to 10 values squares in that example. Okay, so you can take the range function directly, because range is a predefined function in Python we have. Okay, so hope you understand, guys. And let me move to the before going to the filter method. Okay, no, that's the I'm telling list. Why I'm taking list only, once again I'm telling, guys, some student is asking question, so you should understand here, because we have to follow the syntax of a map function. Here Python is telling that, so whenever you are giving a two functions, two parameters in the body of the map, so map arguments, you have to give iterables only. You can give list also, you can give tuple also, etc. That means whatever the iterables we have. For example, you can give set is also iterable object. Okay, so you have to prefer iterable objects only, otherwise you will get an error, because this is the syntax that was defined by Python itself. I am not the authorized person to tell why they are doing like this. Okay, so we have to discuss about, because here I explained each and everything. Map object can then be passed to functions like lists, set, and so on. You can give anything. Let me remove a list. So some triple student is asking a good doubt, so let me give a set. Okay, if I think already I explained that. I think I already explained. Anyway, I'm giving tuple now. Okay, so tuple. Okay, so now I'm printing the numbers. I'm getting the values in rounded brackets. You know, tuple is a rounded brackets. Okay, so list means we have to. Okay. Here if you want to display the elements in list box, then you are giving here square box, because this is a list comprehension. So that is the concept which is declared in the list only. So that's the reason I have given a square bracket here. Okay. If I'm removing square bracket, okay, I will tell you guys. Okay. So now some student is asking 1 minute. Okay. So 1 minute, guys. Okay, it is generating object only, because just now I told you, if I am giving print list of R, then only the output will be in the correct order. So you have to give the list only, then only it will get the correct order. Okay, so that's the reason only I have given directly bracket like this. If I am giving again list, means it is just lengthy, so that's the reason I have given simple code like square brackets. Now I will get the code. Hope your doubt is cleared. I think you asked the good doubt. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you. So okay, fine. So let me move to the, before going to next function, I would like to explain the another concept which is there in the map function. Map function having a lot of flexibilities, guys, not only for printing the numbers within 2-3 lines. Okay, so for example, if I'm giving the program like this, sometimes in interviews also they will ask like this: if the strings are in this way, how to print the, how to capitalize the strings? For example, without using function name also I can use it in this way. Okay, so actually this much of concepts are not required, but I'm telling, guys. Okay, because you should know how many different kinds of operations can be performed in um, map. So map function, I'm taking bvc its. Here I'm taking names. These are nothing but list only. So here I'm giving str.capitalize. This is the predefined method, you know already. Okay, so whenever I'm giving dot, means it is a method you know already. Okay, capitalize means for example, if I'm giving like if I'm giving like str equal to Kumar. If I already explained actually this concept, but I am telling again str dot. So these are the string methods we have. So capitalize, then the first letter will be displayed as a capital letter. Okay, we know this concept earlier. So okay, Kumar I'm getting. If I'm giving AR as capital letters also, but it will get in a correct order. Like the first letter will be capital and remaining letters will be printed like small only. This is called capitalize method. Okay, so this is the predefined method actually. So I am calling that function in the map function. Okay, for the particular elements. For example, what are the list elements I have given? BVC as Kumar Python class like this. Okay, so now I'm printing the list of names. If I'm removing the list also, again I'm getting the object like this. Okay, earlier we are getting the object code like this. Okay, so let me run this code. So I will get the order like 1 minute. So capitalize. Okay, I'm here. I have to give bracket. Okay, so let me run it again. Str object does not is callable. What is this? As 1 minute, I will check this. Str dot capitalize. Okay, comma names. So names equal to 1 minute. Yeah, very good. Oh, no, actually, no, that is not required actually. No. So I will tell you guys, I will tell you, don't worry, 1 minute, I will tell you. Here I'm giving map of str dot. 1 minute guys, don't worry. Descriptor capitalize of str object needs as argument. What is that argument? 1 minute. Capitalize does not require method. 1 minute. No. I know. Don't worry, guys. Names dot capitalize is not needed in this. Not needed in this. Okay. Not needed actually. Okay. Don't worry. Yes. I know. At least this is not required actually. str, that is I'm passing with string only. That's the reason I have given like this. Okay. Don't worry, Kangar. Okay. So I will tell you. So let me give a capitalize method without giving str s equal to, I'm giving my name. 1 minute. Let me take an example. So Kumar, I'm taking like Kumar, print of s dot. Okay. So CAPITALIZE is correct only. SCAPI capitalize. So exactly is there, no problem. So we say it is Kumar Python list of names. Okay, what is the error actually? Now I will read the str object is not callable. Why it is not callable? Let me take another variable. 1 minute. Okay, that is not the problem. Okay, fine. 1 minute guys. Actually I always practice before I'm coming to the class. Let me check with the practice course. Please wait guys. This is October 3rd actually. Let me open the course. 1 minute. A lot of examples. Okay, so I'm unable to find it very well. Please wait this. I will tell you with date wise because I have practiced it today also. Please give me some time. So what is the today's date? 5/10. So 5/10. Sort by date. Yes. So these are the topics I have practiced today. So let me explain guys. Please wait. Okay, bracket is not necessary actually. Yes. Okay. So that's the practice makes man perfect. Okay. So don't worry guys. And many students suggested me we have to give names that capitalize. No guys. Okay. I know because without practice I don't want to teach any class because okay. So I know because I'm dealing lots of students. I know. Okay. So this is the today I have practiced this course today. So before I'm coming to your classes, okay, I always used to prefer to practice the codes. Okay, so this was done 12 6 p.m. You can check here also. Okay, around 12 o'clock I have practiced the code. Okay, thank you God, thank you very much. Okay, so let me explain guys. So here str means why I am giving str. I will tell you guys. You are giving lot of suggestions to me. I will tell you why I am giving it. So name equal to, if I am giving Kumar. Okay, so let me give like print of name dot capitalize. Okay, so then I would like to print off type of name. Okay, so let me run this first. I will explain then. So I'm getting class str. Str is a predefined object actually we have. Okay, that means we have data types, right? So that's the reason we can directly call the methods by using str. Okay, here str.capitalize is the function. That means here there is no function in the program. We are using str.capitalize directly without using body also. That means if you are giving str.capitalize, brackets also not necessary, guys. Okay, so here names, that means names I have given in a list format. Now these elements will be converted into BVC items. That means the first letter will be in correct order and remaining letters will be converted to a lowercase. You can check BVC ITS Kumar Python class. Okay, so list of names I am getting the order in list. That means map can be used in different ways. That's the reason I am telling this example. Anyway, it is not required actually, but I am telling that means map can be applied in different ways. Okay, so now this is up to map, guys. If you have any more doubts, you can mention in the chat box. Let me move to the Python filter function. Okay, so filter, so what is, it is somewhat similar to map only, but many students get confused after I am telling the map function. Okay, so but don't confuse, guys. I will tell you, don't confuse. Okay, so the filter method construct and instruction, it is also takes two parameters, guys. Okay, but instead of that earlier program, this takes only boolean values like true or false. Why it is boolean the values it is taking? The expression is always the condition. So here in map, this is the major difference between, you have to understand very clearly. In map function, you are giving the function and iterable. This is also same way. Let me explain with an example first. Okay, here also list is there, tuple is also there. For example, this is, I am taking a different example. I am taking different example. Okay, so integers range of 1, 10. Even I am taking a list for I in integers. If I modulus 2 equal to 0, even dot append of I, print even. For example, if you would like to find out the even numbers between 1 to 9. So 1 comma 10 means 1 to 9. Let me run this code. I am getting 2468 in the list format. Okay, so this is the program actually we are doing by using for loop and if conditions. So integers equal to range of 1 comma 10. Integers equal to range of 1 comma 10. Even equal to, I am taking one list. So that means now integers contains 1 to 9 numbers. If I am giving 1 to 10 means 1 to 9 numbers we have. Even equal to empty list. This is empty list. So that means this variable will be converted like a list format. For I in integers, that means I will take the values from 1 to 9, but the first value I value will takes like only 1 only. It will check if 1 modulus 2 equal to 0, condition failed. So that list, that means for even is a list variable. So append is the method in the list format. So that is used to add one by one element to the particular list. You know already. So I will not be added because I equal to 1 modulus 2 not equal to 0. So 1 modulus 2 is 1 value. So we are getting wrong. That means it will not append to the 1. So that's why I am not getting 1 here. Again it will go back to the for loop. It will iterate it to I value 2. Okay, so now it will check 2 modulus 2 equal to 0. Yes, 2 modulus 2 equal to 0, condition true. Even dot append, that means even is the list element. Now it is added 2 because 2 modulus 2 is 0. That in the same way it will works up to 1 to 9. So according to the condition, even numbers condition, we are getting 2468. Now after appending the all values, I am printing the even list. That means I am printing the even list. The earlier empty list is there. After performing this operation, we will getting this value. So here I am giving the condition. Earlier I have explained about the expression like x cube, x square, like that. So you should understand the difference between a filter and map. Okay, so now I will explain how to use filter method in this example. Okay, so by using same output, that means there is the same theme of the program. I am giving the lambda function, that means anonymous function. I am giving lambda keyword. I am printing the integer numbers like 2468 like this. Okay, so filter is also works with iterables. That's why I am taking integer formats like lists. So that's why I am printing the elements with the list. So I am taking integers equal to range of 1 comma 10. That means here almost 6 lines are there. Instead of 6 lines, I am giving only 3 lines. Okay, so this is the way to reduce the concept. So now I am running the same program again. I am getting 2468, same output. There is no difference at all. So how it is getting, I will tell you guys. Even now integers equal to range of 10 means you know already. So you can take, not only take integers variable, you can also directly like for I in range of 1 comma 10. That is also perfect. Okay, That means just for understanding purpose I am telling in this way. Okay, so because if I am telling filter of lambda x comma range of 10, they may confuse, some students may confuse. That's the reason I have given like this. Okay, so now range of 1 comma 10, even filter of, so instead of map I am using filter method. Okay, so filter function, not method, filter function. Okay, lambda x colon x modulus 2 equal to 0. Here x is an argument, this is an expression. So here we would like to find out the whether the given number is even or odd. That means we have to print the even number. That means for every variable from 1 to 9, it will take into the x 1 modulus 2 equal to 0, then only that will be printed. But 1 modulus 2 is not at all equal to 0, that means that will not be printed. Okay, so here I am taking it just because these numbers will be taken the consideration into the x values. Okay, so this is the way the program will works. So let me remove this line, and I am directly giving the range of 1 comma 10 directly here. I am removing integers here. Okay, so that means here for loop is not required, if condition is also not required. You can print in 2 lines, you can print in 1 line also, even is also not mandatory. You can just copy this code and you can just paste here, it will also works, guys. Now I am getting 2468. That means the program can be easily done by using filter and the map functions within 2-3 lines. Okay, so this is the main purpose of a higher order functions. Okay, so this facility is not there in any other languages, guys. So hope you understand. And this is the condition I am giving. So if I am giving this is the condition, so that means it returns always boolean values, true and false. Then only you should use filter method. If I am using instead of filter, if I am using map, okay, now I am running the same code. Okay, I am getting boolean values like false, true, trues, like that. That means it won't works here. Okay, so when we have to use map, when we have to filter, I am once again I am telling filter method will be applicable when we have expression like x into x, x square plus ax square plus bx plus c, like that. For example, here it is a conditional. For example, if you would like to check whether given number is greater than or equal to 10, greater than less than or equal to 10, then if you want to put the conditions, then you should use filter. Okay, this is the basic difference between filter function and the map function. And 1 minute, guys, it can also be done in 1 line also by using list comprehension. So we have the technique of list comprehension. Please wait for a moment. So the same output can be done in 1 line also. Okay, even equal to x for x in range of 1 comma 10, if x modulus 2 equal to 0, x will be printed. Okay, here x is the body of the x actually. So if I am giving like 1 minute, let me run this code and then you can easily understand what I am telling. Okay, I am not giving print actually, so I would like to print actually. So I would that means you can give print of even also, that's not a problem at all. But anyway, I will get another line, print of list of even. Okay, so now list of elements will be printed like even numbers. But the syntax somewhat difficult, but don't worry, guys. You can easily understand because till now we did not we know about for loop and if condition. So every student is familiar that these are good. But whereas in higher order functions in Python, these are compared to for loop and while loop and conditions. So these are very useful. Okay, by using lambda, it can be done actually. Okay, so without lambda also the program won't works perfectly. Okay, so now anyway I will tell you guys. First see this logic. For x in range of 1 comma 10, this will be the body of for loop. And after that x will be printed like whatever the condition is true, then x will be printed. That means under the if condition x is there, that means it is like a print. That means, but I am giving square bracket means all the list elements should be stored in even elements. Okay, for x in range of 1 comma 10 means it will take x value 1 first. Okay, but it is not related to filter. I am telling list comprehension. Okay, list comprehension is different, filter is different, but it can be done in so many ways. I am telling, that's the reason I am telling. Okay, for x in range of 1 comma 10 means, so x value is 1 now, 1 modulus 2 equal to 0, the condition is false. Always. So whenever this condition is false, x will not be printed here, and it will again go to the x value to 2. Then 2 modulus 2 equal to 0, then x means that list elements now 2 contains, so here 2 will be stored. So in that way it will be printed, guys. Okay, so I hope it is clear everything. If you have any doubts, please let me know. So, and due to some examinations, I think so many 50 members students are absent every day. Why I don't know actually. I think for exams purpose, third and finalists are not attending the classes, I think so. So anyway, So if you have any doubts, I will be there here. And before going to that, I would like to 1 minute. I would like to pass feedback form link again. So I will send the material after completion of the class. Try to fill the form within 7 p.m. Okay. Yes, exams and the many students are absent. That's why I'm asking. Almost 50 students are absent today. So usually almost 270 to 300 students attending the classes regularly. So this is the way lambda function can be used in so many ways, guys. And I will add one more line here. Control S. Okay. So this is the today's class, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave, no problem. Okay. So everything is fine. Now I changed the code also. I will send the material. Thank you, guys. Nobody is asking doubts, I think. So I think it is clear to all of you. So you can use in this way also. I already told you anyway. Instead of 1 2 3 4, you can directly give map f of r comma range of 10, 1 comma 10. You can directly get the value. Okay. This is also easy way, guys. You don't need to take all the values like this. So range can be used in different ways, not only in for loop. Okay, so nobody is asking doubts. I think everybody is clear. Please be happy, stay home, stay safe, take care all of you. And especially second CSC students, I have already forwarded the observation material, so you should maintain the observation with outputs. And okay, so and meanwhile you should practice the 1 2 subjects also. Okay, I don't want to take extra time, so that's the reason I'm taking exactly from 5:30 to 6:30. I don't want you to take your time, so please guys, hope you should read well. And meanwhile, if you are getting any examination timetable, I definitely will post, and you can put a lot of comments in your status. So Bhavani is sending one code. Let me copy Bhavani. Any doubt, Bhavani? So can you please tell me? Okay, instead of print you're giving. Okay, that is also good. That is also good. Yes, yes. So Bhavani is telling one more point. 1 minute. Actually, I have closed the notes. Okay, let me change it. No problem. Instead of print directly, you can give directly print of x like this. But it is getting in list format. It is getting in list format, Bhavani. No. Okay, okay. No problem, no problem. But actually, for the list purpose only, I'm telling in that way. So let me give print of x. Okay. So Bhavani is telling that without using print of event, directly we can print like this, sir. She is asking like that. Okay. So that is also good thing actually. So let me run it, guys. I'm getting 2468, but it is not getting in list order. Okay. So anyway, but that is also fine. Yeah. Thank you, Bhavani. But anyway, I will keep it here only because a lot of students will understand the concept will be similar like this. Okay. That's why I told you, according to matrix multiplication, you are doing in a list comprehension. In the same way, you did the same concept here. Okay. So because till now I did not discuss about the list comprehension concept. So now the topic is coming. That's the reason I'm telling guys. Okay. So thank you, Bhavani, and thank you very much. All of you, stay home, stay safe. Nobody is asking doubts. I think everybody is getting clarity. So prepare well, guys. I don't want to bother anyone. Okay. So because the examinations are on the way, so I'm telling for your purpose only, because if you are getting the good marks, you only will be happy. Okay, and I also will be happy. So that's the reason only I'm telling. Um, సో నేను భయపెట్టట్లేదండి, చాలా మంది భయపెట్టేస్తున్నానని గ్రూప్లో పెడుతున్నారు కదా. సో నేనేం భయపెట్టట్లేదండి. నేను అందుకే కొన్ని పోస్టులు పెట్టడం మానేసాను. ఇంకా అందుకే నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ టైం టేబుల్ వస్తే నేను పెట్టను. ఒక మీ టైం టేబుల్ వస్తే పెడతాను. సో ఓకే. So you know already, I almost completed one two subjects. Two times I have revision C language concepts. You know already. Okay. So you should read the concepts, because so to up to now my tasks are completed up to now, because we are doing a lot of efforts to teach you all. Okay, even though we are having some problems, but still we are always committed to our work. Okay, in the same time, at the same time, you should prepare well. Okay, so don't comment others. Okay, so please guys, thank you, stay home, stay safe.